Have you asked yourself the simplest question of all? What if AI isn't the end of being human, but more a test of whether we ever really were? See, when people talk about the fear of AI, they picture machines taking over, cold logic and endless data, a future where humans are obsolete. But maybe the fear isn't really about the machines at all. Maybe it's about the mirror they will hold up to us. Because every time we see AI write or paint or solve problems, we feel that quiet question press against us. If a machine can do this, then what am I for? It's not just fear of losing jobs. It's the more embarrassing thought of, what if we weren't that special to begin with? We said creativity was sacred. Then a machine spits out a painting in 12 seconds. We said intelligence was uniquely ours. And then an algorithm solves problems that we still all Google. And suddenly, we're not Prometheus with fire. We're the cavemen wondering if the fire even needs us anymore. The truth is, every invention carries a shadow. We make a tool, and then we wonder if we've made our replacement. That's why AI feels so heavy. It touches language, creativity, intelligence, the very things we thought made us untouchable. And so, the question lingers, heavier than any headline. Is this the end of being human? Or just another story we'll one day laugh about? Relax. This isn't our first panic. Every generation meets a new invention and immediately thinks, well, that's it, pack it up, humanity's over. And every generation is at least partially ridiculous. Take the steam engine. When trains first rattled across the countryside, respectable doctors warned your body wasn't designed to move that fast. At 30 miles an hour, your lungs might collapse, your brain could boil, and your soul would quite literally fly off the rails. Even cows grazing nearby were apparently doomed to trauma-induced milk shortages. Spoiler alert, the cows kept producing. The lungs kept breathing. The only thing that collapsed was the horse business model. Then came electricity, a force so strange, so invisible, that some swore it was black magic rented out by the devil. Critics warned that cities would burn, nerves would fry, and children growing up under electric lamps would turn into pale goblins robbed of their natural rhythm. Some refused to let a bulb into their homes until they realized that reading by candlelight past 8 p.m. is not really the flex it sounds like. The assembly line. Well, when Henry Ford rolled it out, philosophers screamed that humans would be reduced to soulless cogs. And, okay, maybe they had a point, but it also meant that cars became cheap enough that even the critics could drive themselves to their own lectures on the death of the human spirit. The cycle is older than progress itself. First, the shock, then the ridicule, then the panic, and finally, the dependence so complete we can't imagine life without it. Steam, electricity, mass production. Each one declared a civilization-ending nightmare. Each one quietly turned into background noise as ordinary as oxygen. So, when people say, AI will destroy us, maybe it isn't prophecy. Maybe it's just Tuesday. We say we fear being replaced by machines, but what we really fear is realizing how machine-like we already are. Think about it. The cashier at the supermarket doesn't create every scan. She repeats the same motion, beep after beep, until the shift is over. The bus driver knows every curve, every stop, every turn of the wheel before it happens. The cook in the kitchen flips, stirs plates, a rhythm so practiced, it might as well run on code. We dress it up in words like job, career, responsibility, but strip it down, and most of us live inside a narrow script. Day in, day out. Efficient, predictable, replaceable. And that's the reason AI cuts so deep. Because when a machine paints or writes or calculates, it threatens more than a paycheck. It threatens the story we tell ourselves about what makes us, us. If a program can do the things we've built our identity on, what's left for us? Here's the irony. Most of us cling to one role, one skill, one box we checked years ago. I'm a teacher. I'm an accountant. I'm a driver. We repeat it so often we start to believe it's the whole truth. And then we spend a lifetime guarding that little box, terrified of what happens if someone or something takes it away. Behind every algorithm, there's a choice, an ethical one, because AI doesn't invent itself. It learns from us, from our data, our patterns, our biases. And if all we value is speed, cost, efficiency, then that's exactly what we'll program into it and exactly what it will feed back to us. A mirror sharper than ever. The danger isn't just that AI is powerful. It's that AI is obedient. It will do what we train it to do, whether that reflects our best principles or our worst shortcuts. So maybe the fear isn't, what if the machine replaces me? Maybe it's, what if I've already been living like one, efficient, predictable, replaceable, without ever asking what values I actually stand for? Because the truth is, the risk isn't that AI starts thinking like us. It's that we keep programming ourselves to think like it. So here we are. Machines are faster, cheaper, tireless. They can write reports, drive cars, even paint sunsets that will make you stop and stare. And you could look at all this and say, well, that's it. Curtain closed. Humanity had a good run. Or you could see it differently. Because maybe the point of AI isn't to erase what makes us human, but to force us to finally find it. A machine can mimic words, but it cannot feel what it means to write the first shaky sentence of a love letter. It can compose a melody, but it doesn't know what it is to cry to that melody alone in the dark. It can crunch data, but it doesn't know what it is to stake your future on a choice that terrifies you. That's the part we keep forgetting. Humanity was never about efficiency. It was about mess. It was about wonder, about daring to step into the unknown when every calculation said, don't. And history shows us something simple. Every revolution had its critics. Every invention, its prophets of doom. And not one of them succeeded. Which means the real choice is the same now as it was then. You can fight the tide and drown with it, or you can be the one who rides it, bends it, shapes it until it becomes your advantage. Because the people who do nothing, who let fear turn into paralysis, will always stay behind. But the ones who lean in, who dare to master it, not as slaves to the machine, but as authors of their own direction, they will stand out. It's always a choice. Resistance or reinvention. Fear or freedom. Because unlike the machine, you can decide. You can wake up tomorrow and choose something absurdly new. Learn a skill you have no reason to be good at. Start a project so ridiculous it makes people laugh out loud. Say words that might fail. Build something that might break. Dare something that might not work. That's the deal that AI puts on the table. Stay safe, stay efficient, stay replaceable. Or rise above the script and remind the world what only a human can be. I've shared how I want to see this moment, but what about you? What was the last AI tool you used? Did it feel helpful or did it unsettle you? Can you imagine ways it could push you into doing something you once thought impossible? Or does it mostly leave you with questions you're not sure how to face? I keep thinking evolution has always been uncomfortable. It pushed us out of the caves, onto ships, and high into the sky. And maybe AI is just the next push, forcing us to grow in ways we'd never choose on our own. Unsettling? Yes. But maybe not bad. So I'd genuinely like to hear your take, how it feels from your side. Because this isn't a lecture. It's a shared experiment we're all living through. And if you want to keep exploring it together, a like or a follow is your way of saying, count me in.